The wait is finally over, and here we are with a weekly lowdown on all that's happening in the world of culture. Welcome to Colors of India. Let's take a quick look at those stories that made it to the top. We have for you the thrill of flamenco, which is then followed by a game of cards, and we end it all with an all-American meal. Dance scholars believe that Kathak and flamenco share the same roots, which is why the Embassy of Spain recently announced the creation of a flamenco and a Rajasthani music center at Jodhpur. Many years ago, Rajasthan's travelling gypsies crossed over Central Asia and Africa and went on to settle in Andalusia, Spain. Today, we recognize the dance of this community as flamenco, and the flamenco performance that followed the announcement of the centre dispelled all doubts about this cultural connect, if any.
Well, we are going to create an investigation center about the common roots between Rajasthani music and flamenco music. So we want that musicians from India and musicians from Spain study together our musics, and they develop them. We want them to fusion. We want them to mix both musics.
A team of award-winning artists, which included Antonio Mingias on the vocals, Antonio Munoz on the guitar, Jose Rodriguez on the percussion, and dancer Maria Canea, thrills the audience with their power-packed performance. The first part of the show was about the vocals, where the notes varied from high to low to passionate and adoring in a matter of mere seconds. The pitch and the throw of the singer's voice matched the fast-paced guitar and the time-keeping rhythmic percussion.
One of the things that can bridge distances and create brotherly bonds between nations and peoples is exactly culture. We have felt for a long time that Indians have a natural instinct to recognize good flamenco from bad flamenco, that they feel attached to the music and to the dance from the very first note and the very first step.
Soon, his songs of love and betrayal found expression in the vigorous footwork of the dancer as she matched moves with every beat of the drum and with each clap of the hand. The long ruffles of her skirt, which is known as traje de flamenco, also seemed to have a life of their own as they swirled around to the music.
It was quite impressive, actually. I mean, very lively. I particularly like Alegrías, which is one of the kind of flamenco. Very good. Rather good. They engage the people, which is very important in flamenco, especially in a country that doesn't probably know so much about it. So quite nice. I enjoyed it a lot, and I think it's a good introduction for people who's never seen it before. So
Traditional flamenco dancers respond and react to the vibes and the energy of the audience, and as Delhi cheered their approval, up went the rhythm and the tempo of the dance. A look at the footwork of those dancers and you will definitely know where that connection lies. But then there is so much more that one needs to know, and for that a center like this would definitely come in handy. Now the Rag Rang festival is back, and nothing can beat an evening under the stars with some ethereal music for company.
As summer soars high, quenching the classical thirst was Rag Rang, a festival of music which turned out to be a delight for music lovers who love to immerse themselves in the ragas and the rangs of different Indian classical forms. The 7-day classical fest held at CP's Central Park brought in big artists like Shubha Mudgal.
The idea was to bring together all the language academies together along with Sahitya Kala Parishad, and the idea being just Delhi. Delhi is about all languages and about all cultures and coming together of all of them. So that was the basic idea, and that is what brought forth Rag Rang.
Being one of the most well-known names in the classical circuit, Shubha Mudgal treated the audience with a spirited performance by singing some exceptional pieces. From Kabir to Dushyant Kumar to Amir Khusro, she sang epic compositions of legendary composers. She also presented a mixed lyrical song, Milna Ve Mehboob Bihari, with inputs from Braj, Urdu, Punjabi and other languages, bringing forth the idea of unity through music.
Classical music has never really attracted the kind of numbers that, let's say, popular music has. And yet, if reports are to be believed, then earlier, let's say 100 years ago, classical music was actually performed in jalsas, where if you had 100 or 150 people, that would be a huge number. And today you also have parks where, let's say, the Music in the Park series, where we've all performed and to thousands of people. And so I think, in a sense, despite the general complaint that, all is lost and classical music is becoming extinct, I don't think that's going to happen.
Her taan and alap, incorporated in her singing, gave the required depth and character to the songs and definitely brought out the best of her style. The piece Ab Kaise Chhoote Naam Rat Lagi brought out her expertise the most.
All kinds of people who come to Delhi to make it their home are represented in this area. And I think to sit in this Central Park in a very historic space and, not in the formality of an auditorium, I think that's really quite special both for performers and for the listeners. And I'm deeply grateful, as always, to all the people of Delhi for all the love and affection they have always given me. I wouldn't be what I am without it.
her different lyrical songs, she brought forth the agenda of the festival to bring art, culture and language together. As a fitting adieu, she presented a composition of Amir Khusro on public demand.
It was a hot and humid evening, but with the Abke Sawan singer at her best, no one seemed to mind. Well, it's time for us to go on a quick break here. I'll see you on the other side. Coming up is Western classical music, followed by a game of cards. Welcome back. Before the break, we had taken you to listen to the Eastern sort of music. Now it's time to look westward and to tune in to some classical.
I am the Lord of the dance, said he. I will lead you all in the dance, said he.
For many, music is best enjoyed when together. Bringing the flavor of chorus and choral music back to the capital scene is Delhi's favorite choral group, the Capital City Minstrels, or the CCM, with their summer concerts. With a choir group of more than 30 people, they believe in singing together in harmony rather than singing solo. The choir had people from different walks of life and belonging to different generations, all coming together with one thing in common, their love for music.
This is the concept of Western classical music, to sing together in different voices. And this is the beauty of Western classical music, that whatever voice you have, you can fit in a choir. Whatever your age, you can fit in a choir. So it's the love of music and the understanding of the message that music carries. And I think it's a universal language that everybody understands. It doesn't need to be explained. If you love music, you will love this kind of melodious music.
In this season's summer concert, they presented pieces by Western maestros like Bach, Tchaikovsky and Handel, and many others, presenting classical compositions of legendary composers from the 17th century till the present day. They kick-started with Bach's compositions from the 17th century, like Sheep May Safely Graze. Next, they sang English composer Purcell's Rejoice in the Lord Alway, a piece which was a part of the music for Queen Elizabeth II's coronation.
It's important that you know your music, you know what you're singing, which note comes on which time. But the second thing, which I think is much more important is the love that you put into the music, and that you like the people next to you who are singing with you, and that makes just the music. Otherwise, it's just notes putting together and lyrics putting together. But when you sing with your heart, then it comes to the audience.
Their choir was a mixed choir consisting of men and women. This type of alignment is most common, usually consisting of the sopranos, altos, tenor and the bass. Accompanied by a choir conductor, the group had a lone instrument playing as their musical support, the piano. When all of it came together, the room surely got filled with joyous voices.
For me, piano is my first love, and I love to accompany. And I think it's a marriage between the choir and then the piano. So it's like, actually I'm trying to be the full orchestra for them. So if you really notice, I'm not really playing exactly what's written, but I'm trying to maybe double the bass and give them more support. So that they feel the oomph factor, and they can give out more.
The choir presented a befitting ending by singing Handel's most famous piece from his The Messiah, called Hallelujah. Legend has it that when King George II attended a royal performance, he stood up on this particular piece, and so did everyone else in his presence. Since then, it has become a tradition to stand up when the Hallelujah chorus is sung.
Why sing alone when you can sing along? That's the philosophy of the Capital City Minstrels, and it seems to be working for this choir group. But my trump card for the week is another story, one about a pack of cards. Card games test your memory, win you friends, and is a fun way of spending family time. The same game of cards can also be educational if you are playing with the right pack. Dance Forms of India, a pack of 90 cards designed and developed by Dansyus Jayalakshmi Ishwar, pays homage to Indian classical dance.
When ma'am told us about there's a card game based on dance, we were like, what is this? So then she explained it to us. It's basically a game of rummy, but with a different twist to it. So it's informative at the same time. The rules are basically the same, but instead of the card suits and the colors, you have different dance forms and you have techniques and all the aspects that make a dance form, like the gurus, the ornaments, costume, music, history, everything.
It is not a mere picture information card. You have to apply your mind. If it is Bharatanatyam percussion, blended with other ornaments or dance steps, footsteps of Bharatanatyam, that gives a sequence of thought to a child.
Each dance form, Bharatanatyam, Chau, Kathak, Kathakali, Kuchipudi, Mohiniyattam, Manipuri, Odissi and Satriya, are given 10 cards each. The information that needed to go into each of these cards were collected from artists of each tradition, the Sangeet Natak Academy and the Center for Cultural Resources and Training. This was then filtered and finally compiled. The cards were also color-coded and the technique of the game carefully devised. And during this process, Ishwar learnt that a game of cards is no child's play.
The question first arose in me is how to create the dance game. I mean, I didn't want it so serious, also wanted to be more informative, not just playing for fun along with some information. As children, you should also become a little bit familiar about the other dance form. So I thought not just giving a dance form, also about the costume, the percussion instrument they use. Not only the children, even a lot of lay person in India, they are not familiar with a lot of these instruments itself.
Today, during break sessions between dance classes, Ishwar students enjoy a quiet game of cards and some of them can deal a pretty good hand. A pack of cards designed for those of you who want to play by your own rules. Well, it's now time for me to go on another quick break. Don't go anywhere because the best is yet to be. On Food Trail this week, it is food at the American Diner. Welcome back. On Food Trail this week, I'm going to have the Great American Meal Experience and I am going to try their all-you-can-eat breakfast spread. Of course, the jukebox must have given it away. I am at the All American Diner. Join me. With a 60s style jukebox, which stopped working somewhere along the line, to posters of Elvis and Marilyn Monroe and all things American, to the high bar stool and neon lights announcing the menu, the All American Diner, a part of Old World Hospitality at the India Habitat Center, has got their look spot on.
All American Diner concept came from America. People used to have food there in large quantities, and they used to have food like all-day breakfast. So we are also serving in that concept, huge portions, all-day breakfast like pancake, waffles, omelette, sausages, bacon, everything is available whole day here. Apart of this, we have sampler and other dishes also, like hot dog, few burgers, pasta. So we are serving this kind of cuisine in this restaurant.
The first American diner was born in 1872 in Providence, Rhode Island, and since then, the concept has evolved and captured the world market. The All American Diner is Delhi's first retro space, and here ends the world of dieting and cholesterol.
I've been coming ever since the inauguration. It opened 12 years ago, and I've had a lovely experience because I feel like I'm back in America. I've traveled the world, been to America a lot, and the pancakes, the breakfast, the sandwiches, everything about it is very good service and very good quality of food. So I feel like it's a different time period, and the relics, if you see the walls of the restaurant all around, it's beautiful. It's like authentic American posters and charts put up. So you really feel like you're in an American cafe.
A true diner experience can be judged by their breakfast spread, and the diner here offers a reasonably priced variety. The pancake combo is a delightful mix of eggs, pancake, cheesy tomatoes, potatoes and sausages. Replace the pancake with waffles and there you have the Belgian waffle combo. The ultimate omelette has mushrooms, onions, tomatoes, bell peppers and cheese stuffed in and is served with sausages, cheesy chicken ham, potatoes, tomatoes and toasted bread. With the strawberry sauce, maple syrup and honey as an accompaniment, the breakfast here is quite something.
I feel so tired, put myself into bed.
At the All American Diner, they serve breakfast from 7 in the morning to 11 in the night, which means you can come just about any time and have their all-you-can-eat breakfast menu. I am going to try the sunrise skillet, which is one of the most famous dishes right here.
Isolation is not good for me.
The fabulous thing about the All-American breakfast here is that with all these eggs and meat and cheese, it is the perfect cheesy, greasy, meaty breakfast I've ever had. And if you've had a wild night previously, this is a great way to get over the hangover.
I don't want to sit on a lemon tree. I'm stepping around in the desert of joy. Maybe anyhow I'll get another toy and everything will happen.
And when it comes to the mains, the All-American Diner has quite a spread. You can check out their tribute to the Beatles' homeland and ask for the fry fish, which has crumb-fried fillets served with tartar sauce and sautéed vegetables. Or ask for the classic double-decker burger with double cheese and a Thousand Island dressing. But I was in a mood for some vegetarian and asked for the vegetarian pot pie instead. It is a creamy, flaky ode to seasonal vegetables and is what I would call soul food.
Yesterday you told me about the blue, blue sky and all that I can see. And all that
The fluffy and flaky crust almost melts into the velouta sauce, and together they make a fabulous combination, a little crunchy but a very, very creamy. And the portions here at the diner are really huge, so I'm completely satisfied with the kind of meal that they've provided. And of course, what is a diner without malts and shakes? The choice is plenty: chocolate, strawberry, seasonal mangoes, and the ice cream cappuccino. After a heavy greasy meal like this one, if you need something to pick you up or to just wash it all down, then they do have malts and shakes, and I have asked for an ice cream and coffee infused flavor. I need to get back to this, so I'll see you next week. Same time, same show. Take good care of yourself. Goodbye, take good care, and happy eating.